The self is a sort of container, like this fishbowl. It is what contains the totality of who we are. And it's often described as a feeling rather than anything else, because the self can be called in different ways, and each way underlines one of its characteristics. The self is called your core, because that's where there is really the essence of who you are. The self is also called inner wisdom, because that's a place from where you usually can access clarity, but coming from a place of self-acceptance and unconditional love and self-compassion, which sometimes are so difficult for us to get to. And the self is this place that feels like knowing what is right for you and what is not, what deeply resonates with you and what is not, what feels meaningful and what doesn't, what feels like something you want to bring all your heart into and what doesn't. While the ego is a social construct that we need to function in our life, and it is a part of who we are. We cannot live without our ego. When we are engaged in life, we are functioning from our ego and from many fragmented parts. Carl Jung called them subpersonalities, while the IFS model that I use, internal family system, calls them parts. So you are a container containing many parts very different from each other, and that's why there is a picture of 3 fish in there, very different from each other. When we are connected to ourselves and we let it show the way, then we have clarity, we feel grounded, we feel at peace, we know who we are and what we want. And when we are connected to ourselves, then our individual parts thrive and they bring us wherever we want to go. Unfortunately, we disconnected from ourselves a long time ago. At least that's what happened to me, and that's what happens to a lot of people who feel that they don't really have that sense of clarity, who cannot bring self-compassion and self-acceptance to themselves. Those people who don't really know what they want from life, and they couldn't find that word purpose, that one thing or many things that make them passionate and make them heart jump into their chest. And that's the outcome of a disconnection that happens. And it happens because of our human wiring. It's something that unfortunately we do in autopilot when we don't feel as safe and as accepted as we need during childhood. And then we forget about it. We even forget we were ever connected to it, just as a protective way of keep going on, of moving on. And so what we are left with is our parts, invisible to us, so that they're basically left alone since we are little children, doing their very best to keep us safe and accepted in our family or society, which so does not mean doing the things that really make our heart jump in our chest. It often enough means doing what we have been taught, following expectations, following requests, becoming pleasers, becoming unhappy. It is called internal family system because it's a little bit like a family. Even though our parts often enough, they're invisible to us and they are invisible to each other, they are part of your family, of your inner family. They are you at different stages of your life. They are you sometimes stuck in uncomfortable places, or they are you very determined in feeling or getting something very specific. When we reconnect to ourselves, is that your parts can shift. Our inner system, our inner family comes together in harmony, supporting each other, appreciating each other, and letting the self showing the way. each part has its wants and needs, its beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. And it's a little bit like this. A part of you might be a little child who somehow felt very alone or very misunderstood, and it's crying and it feels threatened by certain situations. And you might have a part which is working very hard to avoid pretty much anything that might bring up negative emotions. That might be your procrastinator part, it might be your eating trash food and sweets part, it might be your drinking part. And then there might be part that actually feels safe, that feels quite good, even though it feels that it always needs to have an umbrella covering its head. There might be a part that feels really mad for things that happened in the past, but never really integrated them or understood how to make sense of them. And then there might be a part that just pushes you through, that soldiers through life, pushing everything aside and just keeps telling you, just do it. And then there might be another part which is completely frozen and just, is just a shy part that is asking, is anyone out there? Am I all alone in here? I feel so alone and cold. And then there might be a part that feels defeated, a part that feels, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm done. And let's test it out. These are little, just very short exercises that help to realize how these parts are actually existing. And you have seen glimpses of them throughout your life while never really noticing them. So you notice your parts, for example, when there is a food you love or a drink that you love, and at the same time, you know that that's really unhealthy for you. So when you are offered a slice of that cake or a glass of that drink, what kind of dialogue happens inside of you? Or what different emotions or feelings do you feel? Well, usually there is a part that is compelled to reach out for it, right? Very physically, the hand is already outstretching. And another part that is fighting off that compulsion, that is telling you, no, that is unhealthy for you, don't do that. And the other part, yeah, but I really want it. And that's a very good example. And another example is when you have some stuff to do. It might be some dreadful stuff like doing your taxes, but it actually might be also something that you really want to do, like starting a new project that you're passionate about or you're interested in, or learning something new, or working on your business, whatever that might be, right? And a part of you is very excited about it and wants to start and get into it. But then another part is somehow not so happy about it. There is that like a slight feeling of dread, of resistance, sometimes of anxiety, and a kind of compulsion to do something different, something else, which could be a soothing activity like watching TV, scrolling Facebook, eating something, or it might be like doing anything else than that, even the laundry. Another example is when you're trying to take a hard decision. And hard decisions are, by definition, hard and complex, and there are many facets to it. And when we try to take a hard decision, very often what happens is that the parts just get in a little bit of turmoil because each part has a different opinion about what you should be doing. And when you get to know them, oh, well, a lot of things really happen because you finally understand the whys behind your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. You really get to know the totality of you face to face and heart to heart many, many, many times. You get clarity and you reconnect to yourself and the real you. You actually learn to give yourself what you needed all along. If you have any questions, please just post them in the comments below.